And the next topic is classification of nutrients. Next topic is classification of nutrients. Here, nutrient is nothing but a chemical. It's just a chemical which will take through our diet. Okay, it might be a carbohydrate, it might be a lipid or a protein or a mineral or a fiber. Even water is also a source of nutrient. So in different ways we'll take different kinds of nutrients, and a nutrient is a chemical from outside the cell, and it needs to perform its vital function. It is a chemical component that we take from outside the cell. Okay, and these nutrients are taken by the cell and converted into a cellular component through the process called anabolism. Okay, and this biosynthetic metabolite are degraded to obtain energy and to other molecules. Okay, when these nutrients are taken by the cell, what they do, they will be converted into cellular component. Okay, by the process called anabolism, and those cellular components might be biosynthetic metabolites, or these are degraded to obtain energy. Okay, so by converting these during the conversion of these nutrients by anabolism, they can form a biosynthetic metabolites, or these nutrients can be degraded to obtain energy, or these might be degraded to obtain different types of molecules. Okay, so if you come into the nutrition, here we'll take different kinds of food material through our diet. Okay, it is a complex mixture. If we take lunch, for lunch what we'll eat, we'll have some rice, we'll have some sabji like curries, different we'll eat different varieties of vegetables. That means we'll cook in different combinations. Along with that, we'll also take fatty content in the form of lipids, and in the form of ghee. So this is a mixture of components. We'll take a mixture of components as diet. So food is a complex mixture of various substances which help. And what is the purpose of this food? These will provide sufficient energy and heat for the various activities and body work. Okay, so here these will provide sufficient energy and heat for the various activities of our body. So our whatever the energy and heat required by our body for other metabolic activities, these food will be the source. Okay, and also these will help in the growth and cell repair and also maintenance of body tissues. Okay, so in growth, for growth and development, and also for repair of damaged tissues, and also for balancing of the dead cells, and also for the maintenance of body tissues, these different kinds of foodstuffs will be helpful. And also in adding bulk to the diet to keep the digestive system work well. Okay, so we should take different kinds and different varieties of food materials to diet, will help our digestive system to work well. Okay, so now let's see classification of nutrients. So we have different kinds of classifications. Now let's see firstly according to the chemical nature. So these nutrients can be classified in accordance to their chemical property, to their function, and to their essentiality, to their nutritional value. Okay, so first one is according to chemical nature. According to chemical nature, So based on the chemical nature of the foodstuffs, we classify into different types like carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the sugar components, proteins which are made up of amino acids, and fats, minerals, vitamins, dietary fiber, and water. So based on chemical nature, we have these seven types of nutrients: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, dietary fiber, and water. Okay, so our first nutrient is carbohydrates. Okay, so major carbohydrates that we take are sugars and starches. Starch will take in the form of rice. So rice will is the major starch source. Okay, carbohydrates like sugars and starches are the most efficient source of energy, known as the fuel of life, because we depend on rice or the starch material for our major diet requirements. Okay, we'll take rice as the major food material in our diet. Okay, so we call these carbohydrates as fuel of life. Okay, they are abundantly found in most food sources. Okay, if you take potatoes, it is a starch, that means carbohydrate. So in this manner we have different kinds of carbohydrate food materials. So these are the fuel of life. These are fuel of life, that means we require larger amounts of carbohydrates. We take larger amount of carbohydrates as food material. Okay, and these carbohydrates yield 4 calories by the burning process. Okay, each gram of carbohydrate yields 4 calories in the process of its metabolism. Okay, 1 gram of carbohydrate will produce 4 calories of energy. Okay, and the next one is proteins. These proteins are the building blocks of body, that means these are majorly for the development of our body growth. These will impact the growth and development of our body. Proteins are the building blocks of the body and provide important required nutritive elements. And these proteins are needed for growth, maintenance, and replacement of body cells, and repairing of worn out tissues, and they form hormones and enzymes used to regulate body process. So a major importance of proteins is for growth and development of the body. Okay, growth, maintenance, and development, and also it will play an important role in the tissue repairing. If a person is wounded, that particular wounded tissue is repaired by using these proteins. Our body will repair the wound with the help of these proteins. Okay, and also in our body, proteins are responsible for the hormones and enzymes also. We all know all enzymes are proteins. So these proteins are essential for the production of enzymes and hormones, and these enzymes and hormones are the sources of proteins. Okay, and per day we require around 1 gram of protein content for 1 kg of our body weight. For example, if your weight is 50 grams 50 kgs, if you are a 50 kg person, you require 50 grams of proteins per day. You should take 50 grams of protein per day to withstand the requirement of your body. Okay, protein requirement of your body. Okay, and the next important nutrient is fats. Okay, so these fats are also essential for our body. Okay, so fats are also essential for our body, and these help in the supply of energy, and also these are helpful for the transportation of fat soluble vitamins. Okay, like fat soluble vitamins like ADEK can be transported with the help of these fats. Okay, so here the chief functions of fats are to supply energy and transport fat soluble vitamins. Okay, so they'll supply energy and also transport fat soluble vitamins, and each gram of fat yields 9 calories. Okay, so when these fats are burned or degraded, these will produce 9 calories of heat energy. Okay, and both animals and vegetables will have these fats, but less amount of fat content is present in vegetables, and higher amount of fats are present in when compared to vegetables and animals. Okay, and fatty acids and glycerol are the end products of the digestion of fats. Okay, so as we get glucose as the end product in carbohydrate digestion, we get fatty acids and glycerol as end product of fats digestion, and here these are helpful for the transportation of fat soluble vitamins like ADEK. So we have fat soluble and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins are ADEK, and water soluble vitamins are BC, that means B complex vitamins and vitamin C. So this is the major importance of fats in our body. And next one is minerals. Apart from fats, we also have minerals in our body. We require minerals in our body. So here mineral elements, these are very minute quantities in our body. Okay, few minerals apart from calcium remain, all the other minerals are in very less content, and after calcium we'll have iron in high quantities in our body. Okay, so here only few minerals are high in our body and few are very less in our body. Based on this composition, based on this content, we again divide this mineral into macro and micro minerals. Okay, so these occupy very small portions of our total body weight. Okay, and these are needed in small amounts, but they have important for our body basic growth and structure. And for basic growth and structure, calcium is the most required mineral. Okay, so this calcium is responsible for the development of our bones and teeth. Okay, so that's why calcium is very essential. So what are the other important functions of these minerals? Means formation of blood. So as just told before, iron is a essential mineral for blood formation. Why? Because blood contains a color pigment. Okay, called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the color pigment in blood. Okay, this will give the characteristic red color of the blood. Okay, and this hemoglobin will have iron as the central metal atom. So that's why for blood formation, this iron is very essential. And few minerals help in the hair growth, nails growth, skin integrity. So these are the major functions of these particular minerals. Okay, and the next type of nutrient is vitamins. Okay, so these vitamins are also very essential components. We have two types of vitamins. Okay, fat soluble, that means these are only soluble in fatty contents, and water soluble vitamins, which are soluble in water. Okay, so these are also in minute quantities, uh, taken in minute quantities through our diet. Okay, and they act as catalyst in many body chemical reactions. They act as catalyst for many body chemical reactions, and these are necessary for normal metabolic functions. Okay, so as they catalyze few chemical reactions in our body, due to their presence metabolic functions will be normal. Okay, and growth of, and health of the human body will also influenced by these vitamins. Okay, and these are required in very small amount but are important for our growth and development. Even though these are in small quantities, these are also required by our body for proper growth and development. That means if you see all the nutrients, fats are also required, proteins are also required. Even though minerals and vitamins both are in very less amounts in our body, but they are also essential for growth and development. That means whatever nutrient, even though it is required for 0.01% also, that is very essential for our body. Okay, by lack of that 0.01% of zinc, what will happen? There will be no proper metabolism. The metabolism which requires this zinc will ultimately will be affected. So, and which this will lead to improper metabolism in our body, and it may lead to different kinds of disorders. That's why a balanced diet is always necessary and essential for our body proper growth and development. Okay, and they should be regularly consumed, as the deficiency can lead to diseases. Okay, so we all know vitamin deficiency are very high. Okay, we know very important vitamin deficiencies like night blindness, scarlet, pellagra. These kind of vitamin deficiencies may occur if vitamins are not properly taken in our diet. Okay, so here there are fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, K, and water soluble vitamins B and C. So here again B complex means we have B2, B3, B4, like this we have different types of B vitamins, and collectively we call them as B complex vitamins. So whatever we discussed till now, like carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and these minerals, vitamins, these are all we all know in our day-to-day life. But this fiber, dietary fiber, we always neglect in our diet. Okay, so somehow or the other we'll try to take vitamins, minerals, and lipids, carbohydrates, and also proteins. So even though if we have deficiency for all these components, we'll take supplements. Like if we have vitamin deficiency, we'll take vitamin supplements, and if we have mineral deficiency, we'll take mineral supplements. But here every person will neglect this dietary fiber. So this dietary fiber is very essential. Okay, special mention must be made with the fiber, since it is not strictly a nutrient. Of course it is not a nutrient, but we should include with our nutrient list. Why? Because it is also essential for our body. Okay, it is not a nutrient, but we should take this particular dietary fiber with our food, and it is essential for our health. Okay, so what is the major importance means, by taking good amount of dietary fiber, a person can fight with lower cholesterols. That means by taking huge amount of fiber food, there will be less amount of cholesterol produced in our body. Okay, and for weight reduction also, this particular fiber, dietary fiber, is helpful. Okay, so this is a type of carbohydrate found in vegetables, fruits, and mainly in whole grains. Okay, so if you take vegetables and fruits, it is in little amounts, in lower amount. But if you take whole grains means like millets. Okay, jowar, ragi. So all these kinds of millets and whole grains, they contain these dietary fiber in good amount. Okay, and here this fiber will absorb water and increase bulk of intestinal contents and helps in intestinal movements. Okay, so fiber intake will increase the absorption of water and increase the bulk of intestinal contents, and it will help in the intestinal movement, and its deficiency leads to constipation. Okay, constipation is a condition in which there is no proper excretion of food materials. Okay, so here it also lowers cholesterol and helps in weight reduction. So this is also an important component that we should balance with our diet. Here water, we should also include water while discussing about these nutrients. So water is very essential in our body. Majorly this water will help in removal of toxic or other unwanted components from our body. If we take sufficient amount of water, this water will flush out all the impurities, toxic materials, unwanted accumulations from our body through the urine. Okay, so we call this water as forgotten nutrient. Why? Because this is very essential for our body. Okay, but we'll take less amount of water, and also we don't consider water as a nutrient also. Okay, so nowadays this water, we can't consider it as nutrient. Why? Because for present generation and present lifestyle, we are taking filtered water, and also we are bringing specialized filters like Aquaguard and all. Okay, so if we take water from such devices, what will happen means these filter devices, they will also filter the macro and micronutrients which are present in that particular water. As you usually water will contain dissolved minerals. Okay, so it contains a few mineral components. Okay, so these minerals will help our body in different ways. Okay, if we take water with minerals, there is no need of taking minerals specially in our diet. Okay, so this water with minerals is very helpful in our body, but we, for present day lifestyle, what we are doing, we are mostly preferring water from filtered emissions like aquaguard and all. Then what's happening? Minerals will be eliminated. Only just H2O, only the H2O molecules we are taking. Okay, so of course this will help in removing the toxic material, but our body will be more activated if we are taking water with minerals also. That's why we named it as forgotten nutrient. We don't consider it as nutrient. Okay, and water is needed to replace body fluids lost primarily in urine and sweat. So we should continuously drink water to withstand the loss of body fluid in the form of urine and sweat. Okay, though it's not a food, it is an important component of our diet. Okay, and it required for our basic metabolism and serves as a medium for all chemical reactions and maintains our body temperature, helps in nutrition process, etc. So here if you see about the importance of water, it will help to balance the lost liquids from our body in the form of urine and sweat, and also it is required for basic metabolism. Okay, for few chemical reactions to maintain our body temperature. Okay, so in maintaining our body temperature, this water will play an important role. So water will play an important role in the maintenance of body temperature. If you see, during summers, to tolerate the high temperatures, what we'll do, we'll add some sabja seeds to the water and we'll soak them and we'll drink the water. Okay, so here technically these sabja seeds doesn't cool our body. Okay, here the water which we are taking along with sabja in high quantities will help to reduce the body temperature. Okay, so along with sabja, this water will also help us to lower the body temperature and withstand the high temperatures present in the atmosphere. Okay, so this is how this water will help us to reduce the body temperature and also helps in nutrition process also. So here per day we should daily, in our daily diet, we should take around 8 to 10 glasses of water. Okay, it is very essential. Okay, so this is whatever the classification we seen till now, it is based on the chemical nature of the components, nutrients. Now based on their function, according to their function, nutrient function, we classify them into energy giving foods, body building foods and protective foods. Okay, so based on the function of the nutrients, These are energy giving foods, body building foods, and also protective foods. So let's see about this energy giving foods first. In these energy giving foods, carbohydrates, fats and proteins are considered. Okay, so these are the nutrients considered as energy giving foods, and these carbohydrates, fats and the proteins are considered as calorie nutrients, and these serve as metabolic substrate for energy so that the body can perform the necessary functions. Here vitamins as well as minerals are considered as non-caloric nutrients. So here major energy giving foods are carbohydrates, fats and proteins. So these produce heat energy by degradation. Okay, so we call them as energy giving foods. Okay, but vitamins and minerals, these are non-caloric nutrients. These doesn't produce any heat energy in the degradation. These are only responsible for the metabolism. Okay, so the foods which produce heat energy in the form of calories are considered as energy giving foods, and these are can also call them as calorie nutrients. Okay, examples: carbohydrates, fats and proteins. Okay, now body building foods. Obviously proteins and fats are the major body building foods. Foods such as proteins, fats and carbohydrates are the body building foods. That means these three components, these are both energy giving foods and also body building foods. Okay, and they are the nutrients that form body tissues. Okay, proteins make up the 20% or 1/5 of the total body weight. Okay, so proteins, if we see our body, 20% of our body is made up of protein content, and 20% will be made up of fats, and about 1% with carbohydrates. So here major components are proteins and fats. Okay, so these are the major body building nutrients. Okay, and the next one is protective foods. Here vitamins and minerals are considered as protective foods. Vitamins and minerals are the nutrients that function to regulate body processes. Okay, and the minerals make up the 4% of the body weight, and the vitamins make up about 28 grams of the body weight. So here minerals are 4% of our body weight and vitamins are 28 grams of our body weight. Okay, so these are the food materials which are helpful in the regulation of body processes like metabolism and all. Okay, based on its mass, that means based on its size, depending on the quantity necessary for cells and organisms, nutrients are classified as macronutrients and micronutrients. Okay, so if you see about macronutrients, these are required in large quantities daily. So that means daily we should take these nutrients in larger quantity. Example: proteins, carbohydrates and fats. Okay, these are the basic units of our diet. And micronutrients, next one is micronutrients. These are needed in small quantities, usually in very less milligrams. Example: vitamins and minerals. Okay, so this is how we can classify these particular nutrients. Okay, so based on chemical nature, we classify them into 7. Those are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins, dietary fiber, water. And here dietary fiber is not a nutrient, but we consider it into this category. And water is popularly called as forgotten nutrient. And this water is a forgotten nutrient. Okay. And next type of classification is based on its activity. Okay, based on its function, based on the nutrient function. These are again classified into three types: energy giving foods, body building foods, and protective foods. Okay, both here, all the three, carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, are both energy giving foods and also body building foods. That means they produce energy and also they are helpful in the body building. But only vitamins and minerals are protective foods. They are helpful to regulate our body processes. Okay. And the next one, based on the mass, that means how much amount our body requires per day. Based on that criteria, these nutrients are classified into two types: macronutrients and micronutrients. Okay. Here macronutrients are obviously proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Okay. And micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. So this is about classification of nutrients. And in this class we discussed about classification of nutrients, calorific value, and calculation of calorific value using bomb calorimeter. Okay. So listen to the class once again. If you have any doubt, please contact me. And while listening to the class, please keep the material provided for you with you, and also note down the important points from the class, and have a happy learning. Stay safe. Thank you, students.